We are not alone. Within my reverie, there's holy light. Without a number, we stand and fight. And Lord, ignite. The world is cold. We stand surrounded. We are not alone. Within my reverie, there's holy light. Without a number, we stand and fight. Oh, 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 we are not alone. Oh, oh, we are not alone.
Everybody, and welcome to our Thursday night show, Immortal Shadows, where we are taking a look at the book of Revelation. So I want to thank everybody for coming by and stopping by and hanging out with us for a little while tonight. I know Bethany will be up here with me in a little while. I know Emma's usually here with me. I'm not sure if she's going to be here tonight. She's gone right now, but she may be back in time to do some music, but I'm not sure if she will be available tonight. So that will be something a little different. But other than that, we will continue with our regularly scheduled broadcast. So let me look here and see who we've got in chat with us, so I can start saying hello to folks. Dustin's in there. Hey, buddy. Hey, Jennifer. Thank you for being here with us. RPI Paranormal, thank you for coming back. Brian, welcome. Bud Files, too. Thank y'all for popping in. We greatly appreciate the support, for sure. So tonight we are going to be continuing our study on the 7 churches. But before we hop into that, we're going to give people some time to hop in the chat and tell us hello, and we'll do a couple of announcements and stuff like that. But we didn't do our Tuesday night show this week. I was not feeling well, and I started a new job this week, so I was trying to get well for that. But we will be back next Tuesday for Southern Discomfort, back at our regularly scheduled time of 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. So we will be back on track with that. I'm going to have a special guest with me. Author Lisa Vasquez will be on the show. She's a good friend of mine. She's got some cool paranormal experiences that she wants to share. And she's going to be talking about her upcoming book release as well. So that'll be a treat for y'all. Everybody in chat, you'll get to ask her questions and all that fun stuff like we usually do on the show. Pretty interactive. So yes, that was just been confirmed with me. So I will be excited to have her on. Lisa was my writing mentor. She's the one who actually discovered me with Stitch Smile. She was the first person to pick up Johnny Walker Ranger Demon Slayer. And so Lisa and I have been great friends ever since then. So she's had a big impact on me. Yeah, I didn't mention it to you, Dustin. This was kind of just kind of last minute, man. So I'm mentioning it now. So she will be joining us next week. Got that confirmed. So yes, Jennifer, I am busted. Me and my absent-mindedness. Hey, Facebook sent me a reminder that the live stream has started. Thank you, Facebook. You're just 5 minutes too late. on that. So a couple things real quick before we get into it. Got some announcements. It is the sort of the beginning of the month. And for those of you who are regular viewers, you know what that means for me. That means that a new Southern Discomfort issue dropped on the 7th. You can pick this up on godless.com. This is a creature feature. So if you are fans of the movie Creep Show or the new series on Shudder, Creep Show, this is a horror story in that type of style. It is really, really fun. It carries suspense with it the whole time. It is about a voodoo legend from here in Louisiana, the town just underneath me. Don't know if many of y'all have heard of it. It's that little bitty town called New Orleans. And there is a legend there called the Grunch Road Monster. And it's got some voodoo legend connection with a devil baby and Marie Laveau. And this story, Beware of Monster, kind of plays off that legend. You got two 12-year-old kids, Jimmy and Kendall. They find an abandoned train yard behind their neighborhood in the swamps outside of New Orleans. And in one of the intermodal cars is a monster that they find, and it is a grunch. And if you don't know what a grunch is, I would encourage you to Google it so you can see what that is and read up on some of the legend. But I go into a little bit of the legend in the book. This one is already getting great reviews from people, so you don't want to miss out on this one. It is a really, really fun one. So if you like just fun horror stories with great suspense and great description of the creature, then this is one that you definitely want to check out, is Beware of Monster. And then just to kind of remind you, there are definitely more. Let me take this one off real quick. I'll play this for you. Southern Discomfort Issues, The Elevator, is a Twilight Zone style story. The Door, that's been my most popular one for you paranormal and ghost and demon fans. Tetramet Rising takes place in my Theodosia universe. The Executioner is about a guy who invents a machine that sucks the souls out of people. Swallow is a very dark drama. One Flesh is a very twisted Saw-like story. And Werewolf Story, the memoir of Darius Fisher, you can get that on Amazon for 99 cents. So those are just some of the things that I have out right now. And all of you know, too, that I've still got the special going with Johnny Walker Ranger Volume 2. For anybody who buys the book off of Amazon, or if you buy it, the Kindle version or the paperback version, and you review it and you send me screenshots of your purchase and your review, I'll send you free ebook copies of everything that I've written. That includes all of my books, all of my Southern Discomfort issues, memoir of Darius Fisher, other stuff that I have on Godless, and then other short stories that I have out there. And just so you guys know too, if you have been waiting to get a copy of Johnny Walker Ranger Demon Slayer Volume 1, okay, the first one, the paperback is on sale for less than $5 right now on Amazon. It's cheaper than the Kindle version right now. So this is the time to get it. It's like $4.83 on Amazon. So if you've been waiting for the price to drop, it has dropped drastically. So you can pick up Volume 1 for less than $5 in the paperback right now on Amazon. I'm gonna hop back in here in the comments. I see we've got a lot. Make sure I haven't missed anybody. PW's here. Yankee Kyle, welcome. See who else we got. All right, Yankee Kyle and PW. And Kenneth is here. All right, welcome, y'all. So I was waiting on Bethany to come up so that I could pick on her. Like, I just don't feel right starting the show without picking on her and taking some shots at her, but she's not here right now. So I don't have anybody to pick on. It feels not right for me to be up here by myself and not have that banter going on with her. I feel lost. So for those of you who are new to the channel, let me just tell you what we do here at the PPR channel. We are professional paranormal research, Three's Company plus 1Z. And what we mean by professional is that everything that we do with integrity and professionalism. We don't fake stuff on our investigations. We live stream everything that we do. And if there's nothing going on, then there's nothing going on. We're not going to try to make noises. We're not going to have people behind the scenes doing anything. Everything we do it with integrity. This channel, we also offer a lot of variety because we don't just believe in showcasing the paranormal, right? We do our investigations and we live stream those, but we also believe in teaching about the subject. And that's what I like to do on my Tuesday night shows and on Thursday nights. We're coming at different angles. On Tuesday night, Southern Discomfort, what we like to do is tackle subjects of the paranormal and parapsychology. I like to come with scientific evidence on that. We just wrapped up a series on psychic phenomenon where we looked at different case studies and stuff from a scientific perspective and these things being tested. And on Thursday nights, we kind of come at it from a religious aspect. I am a Christian theologian and a former pastor. And so I like to kind of come at that from that perspective. But this is not a place where we exclude anybody based on their spiritual or religious beliefs or non-spiritual or non-religious beliefs. Everybody is welcome on this show. Everybody is welcome in the chat. We believe in creating a very loving and friendly environment, very welcoming, no drama. You're not going to ever hear us bad-mouthing people. You're not ever going to hear us trying to cause drama or stir up stuff because we take our name seriously, professional, and we're going to act in that manner. We're going to act with character and integrity. And so we want to give you the best information we possibly can on the paranormal. And we also want to conduct ourselves in the best way possible. And Dustin's show, which he usually spearheads on Monday night, Hauntings and Beyond. It's kind of a broad topic. Dustin covers all kind of things on the paranormal, different hauntings, different sites, different historic sites. A lot of times on that show, that's the place where we will talk about different investigations that we have done, that we have led, that we have been to. So when I tell you we offer so much content on this channel, I'm not lying. Like, we have something here at least 2 to 3 nights of the week, offering you a different type of perspective on the paranormal. So if you go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification, you'll get them whenever we have something live and coming up so that you don't miss that. Hey, I saw Vickie. Vickie's here. Hey, Vickie. Oh, she's telling me to be nice to Bethany. I am nice. Now, if Bethany, if I didn't pick on Bethany, she would not know what to do with herself. She would think that something is wrong with me, and she'd be worried. Is Zeke gonna break up with me? Oh my God, he's being super, super weird and sweet and nice, and he's not messing with me or joking with me or trying to embarrass me on live stream or anything like that. Yeah, she would think something is really, really wrong with me. So this, Vickie, that is me being nice because I'm giving her security in our relationship when I do these things. Now, that may seem kind of a twisted logic to some, but it works out well for us. So I wish she was up here so that I could pick on her about her coconut pancakes that she made. But she's not. So maybe when she gets back up here, I can pick on her about the coconut pancakes. And if you've watched this show long enough, you know that when there's something I pick on her about, I just kind of take one thing and twist it and run with it. So it's not really coconut pancakes, but I'm telling you it's coconut pancakes. So now, last week, we're going to go ahead and kind of shift gears here and get into the book of Revelation. All right, for the past 3 weeks, we have been going through chapter 2 and chapter 3. We've been looking at the 7 different historical churches, and we've been talking about their historical background. And oh, here she is. Just in time. Okay, pause that thought.
In time for what?
Hey, Boo Bear.
In time for what?
Bethany.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. You
I can barely hear you. And I hear an echo.
I'll leave and come back.
Try to come back on. Technical difficulties. Yeah, I saw that, Dustin. I saw Vickie was on the Facebook side. So thank you, Vickie. So yeah, we are streaming on Facebook, Twitter, yobaby channel, and PPR. Let's see. I'm gonna pull her up again. Bethany.
Yes.
Bethany. Nope, still not working. All right. We're going to give her one more chance and see. I'm not what yeah, Jennifer, I don't hear on my end. I can barely hear through the StreamYard thing, so I'm not sure what's going on. So we'll see if we can figure out what's happening there. Yeah, she's texted me and said she's having trouble. There she comes. Bethany?
Yes.
Hey, baby, can you talk? Nope, I don't know. She's having trouble on her end. Sorry about that, y'all. Maybe she can try again later. Yes, Dustin put up the link. Yo baby Tanya, she is part of the PPR family, and you saw Vickie there in the chat as well. Reflections of the Paranormal. She is part of the PPR family as well. So y'all can go subscribe to Tanya's channel. If you're on Facebook, go to Reflections of the Paranormal for Vickie's channel, and you can like that and keep up with all of her updates. And then Tanya on YouTube, Yo Baby Blondie. Like and subscribe to hers, and you can keep up with her stuff as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the book of Revelation. Since Bethany is having technical difficulties, we may try again to get her up here later. last week we kind of ended with the Church of Sardis. We didn't get to go through everything, and I'm not going to go back. I thought I was going to go back, but we're not going to have time, because if I go back, then we're not going to be able to get through the last two remaining churches tonight. So we are going to kind of skip some of the extra stuff I wanted to say about the Church of Sardis. And then we're going to hop on into the Church of Philadelphia and the Church of Laodicea. Now, we talked about how these 7 churches are historical churches, but they serve as what scholars call a synecdoche. And all that is a fancy word for a part that is representative of the whole. So these 7 churches, though they are historical churches, because there are 7 of them, because of that significant number and numerology in the book of Revelation, and because we saw in the other imagery in chapter 1 about the 7 lampstands being the 7 churches, this number of completeness, that these churches are representative of the church as a whole, or Christians everywhere and every time all across the globe. So just to kind of give you a little background of that and where we are and what we've been looking at the churches. And we've also talked about how the imagery from John's vision of Jesus in chapter 1 plays into the churches here. And it also plays into the unfolding visions throughout the rest of the book, which links everything together, which helps show that the book is from 4 on is not just everything in the future, that it all has a place in John's day, while also having meaning for us here, but not everything is waiting future fulfillment. I'm going to try to bring Bethany back up. Hey, baby.
Hey.
Can you try to talk?
Hey.
We still can't hear you. Poor thing. Oh. Bethany, if you're still watching, you can hear me. Just try again later. We'll see if we can get you back on. So the church that we're going to look at next, we've got 2 left, and we're going to look at the Church of Philadelphia. So I'm going to be reading from the New American Standard Bible. You can look that up online and find it if you want to follow along with the exact same version that I am reading. We're going to be in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, starting in verse 7. And this church at Philadelphia has been called the Faithful Church. Okay, hold on. Let me tell her to try again later. All right, starting in verse 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write. Now, to remind everybody, the angels for each church, they were looked at in the first vision. They were represented by the 7 stars. And we talked about how the angel of each church kind of brought heaven and earth together, that the angels were the heavenly representative of the churches in heaven. And we talked about that connection there as angels kind of being the guardians over these churches. And so this spiritual reference of being addressed to the angel and going through the angel is meant as a way to encourage the churches spiritually. And so everything in these messages is meant to spur these churches along spiritually, mostly and mainly in their witness to the surrounding culture. That's going to be the theme through all of these letters that Jesus is going to get at to these churches. And that's what he's going to evaluate them on, is how is your representation of me to the surrounding world? How are you representing me and witnessing about me? because the church is supposed to be Christ's representation on earth, and he takes that very, very seriously. And as you've seen, he's had some harsh words for some of these compromising churches. But we're going to see here with the Church of Philadelphia, he has no words of warning or anything for them, only encouragement. He says, "Unto the angel of the Church of Philadelphia write, he who is holy, he who is true, who has the key of David, who opens and no one will shut, and who shuts and no one opens, says this, I know your deeds. Behold, I have put before you an open door which no one can shut. Because you have a little power and have kept my word and have not denied my name, behold, I will cause those of the synagogue of Satan who say that they are Jews and are not, but lie. I will make them come and bow down at your feet and make them know that I have loved you. Because you have kept the word of my perseverance, I also will keep you from the hour of testing, which is about to come upon the whole world to test those who dwell upon the earth. I am coming quickly. Hold fast to what you have so that no one will take your crown. He who overcomes, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God, and he will not go out from it anymore. And I will write on him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, which comes down out of heaven from my God, and my new name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches." So let's take a look here at the Church of Philadelphia. I have some pictures I want to pop up here, and I'll give you a little history about this church. Here are some of the ruins. This is the ancient city of Philadelphia. You can see a theater in the background. Here's our map here of the 7 churches. You see Philadelphia is under Sardis and on the way down to Laodicea. And it was on the main trade route that ran through Asia Minor. And so it was on this major postal road there in the Roman Empire. And it was very ideal for commerce. And this road was called the Gateway to the East. And it was situated in the Hermus Valley and Mount Tanolas. And it was strategic for both military and also for the trade routes, as I mentioned. And it had extremely fertile ground, and it was ideal for growing grapes and producing wine. And out of the 7 cities that we're looking at, it was founded the latest, sometime in 189 BC. And then years later, it came under Greek rule and then Roman rule. Now, the thing about Philadelphia, as with Sardis, all right, if you remember last week, we talked about there in Sardis, there was a great earthquake that hit in AD 17. Well, this earthquake also hit in Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia took on just as much damage as Sardis, but Philadelphia was kind of closer to the fault line, and the aftershocks in the city were horrible. And it made it, because of these aftershocks and constant earthquakes, it made it very, very difficult to live in the city itself. Philadelphia, once this earthquake happened, Rome helped them rebuild, and they gave all of this tribute to Rome, and we're very, very thankful for having the help to rebuild. However, they became very upset with Rome in 92 AD when Domitian went in and he got rid of a bunch of their vines. That was their livelihood. Just like the other cities, there were a bunch of trade guilds in Philadelphia, and their god was Dionysus, all right, the wine god, obviously with the grapes and stuff. So that was the cult following in Philadelphia, which they had a bunch of trade guilds around that god. And they also had the emperor worship. And just like with every other city, the Christians were being pressured to take a part of these trade guilds. And as we said, with these trade guilds came the worship of different deities. And they had to confess their loyalty to these deities. And they had to sacrifice to these deities. And we looked at the other surrounding cities had people in them that were compromising. However, what we see in Philadelphia is that the amount of believers was very, very small, but they had a big Jewish population. The Christians were persecuted by the Jews. They were kicked out of the synagogues as well. And so not only were the Christians, the small minority in Philadelphia, not only were they being persecuted by the Romans and pressured to take part in the trade guilds and the cult, but they were also being kicked out of the synagogues and persecuted as well. And so that's kind of what we see here in this passage, right? Jesus is telling them, I know your deeds. I know that you're small. You have little power, but you have kept my word. And then he talks about those who are of the synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jews and really aren't. These people who are persecuting them think that they're doing God a favor and think that they are doing what God wants. And Jesus is here telling them that they are wrong, that they are not of God for doing this to the Christian population in Philadelphia. And he talks about here how they've had little strength, but they have persevered. All right. So nobody in the Philadelphia church is giving in to this pressure to sell out to the Roman culture and the Roman religion and to the emperor worship. And because of their perseverance, Jesus says that he's going to keep them from the hour of trial. Right. But before this, he says that he is the one who has the key of David, who opens a door that no one shuts and no one opens. All right. This is going back. There's all kinds of Old Testament imagery here, messianic prophecies being fulfilled. And this open door that Jesus is talking about here, it kind of alludes to that, though they were being shut out of the temple, right? But in God's heavenly temple, a door was open for them. It's talking about their salvation, that though you may be rejected by the Jews on earth, your salvation is secure in heaven. You're accepted in the heavenly temple. And this door is also meant to talk about their witness, right? That because they have not compromised, that they're going to have opportunity to still reflect Christ to the culture. That Jesus is not going to come and snuff out their lampstand like he's said on these other churches in the groups that continue to compromise with the false teaching and continue to muddy their witness for him. And so you have all of this language here of perseverance. And then you have the language here of that he's going to keep them from the hour of trial. And this idea of tribulation we've already talked about in the book of Revelation, that the whole book refers to this ongoing tribulation that is happening in John's day that continues throughout the book, and this tribulation that is going to continue throughout the world. And these things are going to increase the more and more and more that things get closer to the second coming of Christ. And the protection here is not removal, right? It's not, the idea here is not that Jesus is going to rapture them. This idea of a rapture we've talked about is something that's not taught in the book of Revelation, that there's a lot here in the Greek that links back to John's gospel, where it gives this idea of preserving by keeping, right? There's not this instance that Jesus is just going to remove his people. This idea of a rapture, this secret rapture where God is just going to take Christians off the face of the earth. This is not a New Testament theology concept. This is something that was developed way, way later in church history, and that doesn't find really any precedence when we start looking at how John is using the Old Testament and looking at how these Greek words all match up. But it gives the idea that he's going to preserve this group of people, that they're not going to compromise. He's going to keep them spiritually safe during this hour of trial. And the whole thing of tribulation in the book of Revelation, it's twofold, right? For believers, when they walk through this tribulation, the book of Revelation says that it's going to strengthen and purify their faith. Those who don't believe, it's going to act as judgment, and it's just going to make their hearts harder. And it is a form of God's discipline and judgment for not believing. So the tribulation that happens on the earth is meant to strengthen believers and to, quote unquote, judge the non-believers. And this is the whole theme of Revelation, that tribulation is coming on the earth. How are you going to react? Are you going to get right with God, or are you going to continue to hate him? That is the whole message of the book, that this world is under the influence of sin and evil. And God is using and allowing that for his purposes, to strengthen the faith of others, to purify, to lead them to faith. And so this whole idea of trial in the book of Revelation is very, very prominent. And it gives two pictures of how do we react to those trials. Do we get bitter and angry and hate God? Or do we soften our hearts and turn to him and pray for strength and pray for perseverance? And this is what he wants his people to do. They're undergoing persecution from the culture, and he wants them to stay steadfast. And this church in Philadelphia is doing it. He says he's going to make them a pillar in the temple of his God, right? There were also temples in Philadelphia that all got crumbled during the earthquake. And the imagery here is that they're going to be an eternal pillar, right? Not like in their city where everything is crumbled, that if they persevere, they're not going to crumble, that they're going to have an eternal home in the heavens. So this is just a very brief overview of the church in Philadelphia. There's a lot more depth here talking about some of this stuff. We don't have enough time to go fully in depth with it. And so I can recommend commentaries like I have on the past shows once we finish up with the second church tonight, if you want to be able to go deeper, because there's a lot more here. We are just scratching the surface. The next church that we are going to look at is the Church of Laodicea. Before we jump in there, I'm going to see if we have any new people. I see Sheena is in here with us. Thank you for popping in. We appreciate it. So let's go on to Laodicea. This church is in really, really, really bad shape. Out of all the churches, Jesus has nothing positive to say about this one. They have compromised so bad that they are teetering on the edge of losing their lampstand and being spit out of the mouth of Jesus. And some of this stuff in here connects to the history of Laodicea, and it's some vivid imagery and some really cool stuff. So let's go ahead and look in verse 14 of chapter 3. To the angel of the church in Laodicea write, the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God, says this: I know your deeds, that you are neither hot nor cold. I wish you were cold or hot. So because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. Because you say, I am rich and have become wealthy and have need of nothing, and you do not know that you are wretched, miserable, poor, and blind and naked. I advise you to buy from me gold refined by fire, so that you may become rich, and white garments, so that you may clothe yourself, and that the shame of your nakedness will not be revealed, and eye salve to anoint your eyes, so that you may see. Those whom I love, I reprove and discipline. Therefore, be zealous and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and will dine with him, and he with me. He who overcomes, I will grant for him to sit down with me on my throne, as I have also overcome and sat down with my Father on his throne. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Got some pictures of ancient Laodicea. I don't want to throw up here real quick, just to show you, remind you where it's at. This is the last church that we're looking at down there, south towards the coast. This is an ancient amphitheater in Laodicea. And this next one's really cool. This is a temple structure, a Roman temple in Laodicea. And Laodicea was a very prominent city. It was founded in 253, probably a little before 253 BC, by Antiochus II, the Seleucid king. And he named it after his divorced wife, Laodicea. And he built this site on an earlier site and named it after her. If some of you have heard of the city of Colossae, Colossae was very prominent in this area of Asia Minor. Well, Laodicea went past Colossae in their prominence, in their wealth, and in their status. And so this city was known for all of its wealth and its loyalty to Rome. And they had a banking center, and they were known for their black wool that they produced. And they had a big garment manufacturers there in this entire district. They were also famous for a school of medicine, which was connected with the temple of Menkaru, the god of the valley, the god of healing. And this is going to play into when we look at some of the imagery that Jesus tells them and uses to shame them. And what's also interesting about this city is you had, I think it was, I'm trying to remember the names of the surrounding city. I'm drawing a blank here, but one of the surrounding cities had hot springs, and their water was very, very healing. And then I believe it was Colossae that had the spring of the cold spring of water, which was very refreshing. And Laodicea had a putrid water system. They had to pipe their water in from the surrounding cities, and they piped it in from the city that had this hot water. And I am totally drawing a blank on what city that was. If I can think of it later, I will let you know. But I'm having a brain fart right now. So that's going to come into play here when we go through this. So very wealthy city, very loyal to Rome, lots of trade guilds there, lots of emperor worship, So kind of the same thing with the other cities. Now, let's look at some of this imagery here. Jesus is calling himself the Amen, the faithful and true. All of this Old Testament imagery linking him to God. Hold on. Emma's going to come in just a minute. So all of this imagery linking Jesus to God. He says he's the beginning of the creation of God. And what this idea gives is not that it's not talking about physical creation. This beginning of the creation of God talks about, the meaning is that Jesus is the beginning of the new creation. All right, his resurrection instituted a new creation. Paul talks about those who come to Christ, they are made new. Their sins are forgiven. The body of sin that had power over us is done away with. And the Spirit of God comes to live within us and creates new life within us. So that's through the resurrection of Christ. And so Jesus is the beginning, the head of this new creation. And this is what the whole theme gets into later of Revelation, that his resurrection, which instituted this new life, this new kingdom, this new creation, is going to find its fulfillment finally when he comes back and he is able to not only bring resurrection life to believers, but resurrection life to the entire cosmos. And so he is the faithful and true witness, unlike the people in Laodicea who have not been faithful and true. He says, I know your deeds. You're neither hot nor cold. Okay, this is referring to the springs of water. You're not hot like this city. Your water is not hot. I wish that you were hot and medicinally healing. I wish that you were cold and refreshing, but neither. You're just like the water in your town. Spiritually, you are lukewarm and putrid. That is a powerful picture that Jesus is using here to talk about the spiritual condition of this church. He said, you're not healing. You're not healing to the culture. You're not cold and refreshing to the culture. You are not witnessing to me. I wish that you would be healing. I wish that you would be refreshing, but you're nothing. You're putrid. Because of your compromise, there's nothing about you that shows my love and character. And so he tells them that I'm going to spew you out of my mouth, just like lukewarm water. That's how disgusting you are right now because of what you are doing, your compromise. Jesus tells them, all right, he's not doing this out of hate. He's doing it out of love, because he says, those that I love, I reprove. He's like, I love y'all. And if you know anything about love, love is honest, right? What relationship can thrive without honesty? And so Jesus is being brutally honest with them about their condition. And he's telling them to wake up, right? I don't want to spew you out of my mouth. Like, I want you to be hot or to be cold, to be one or the other, to do something, either to heal or refresh. But he tells them, you say, I am rich and have become wealthy and have need of nothing, right? They have the Christians in Laodicea, they were very prominent in their wealth because they were selling out to the trade guilds. They were selling out to the emperor worship. So they weren't suffering financially. They didn't want to suffer financially. They didn't want to suffer. They said, oh, sure, we'll do all of this stuff. Oh, look, if I have to stand up for Jesus and that means being a witness for him is going to cost me financially, we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and be a part of all of these guilds. We'll sacrifice to all these other gods. We'll take on all these other belief systems, and we'll be totally cool with it and okay with it. And start incorporating this. And Jesus is telling them, no, you say that you are rich, but he's like, you're nothing. Don't you know that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked, right? Instead of rich, instead of wealthy, you are bankrupt right now. And he says, I advise you to buy me gold refined by fire. Right, this is hitting at the wealth of the city. And he tells them that to buy this gold refined by fire so that you can become rich. It's talking about become pure. And then he tells them white garments. All right, he's hitting at the manufacturing there. We talked about Laodicea being this huge clothes manufacturing city. So he's using the imagery there. And then he also tells them to buy eye salve, right? And we talked about there was this big medicine clinic there that was known in Laodicea for the eye ointment. And he's saying that outside, you've got the riches, you've got the clothing, you've got the healing for your eyes, but spiritually, you don't have any of this. So don't worry about your money from the culture. Buy pure gold, spiritual gold from me. Don't worry about these expensive clothings when you are soiling your own spiritual garments. You need to be white and pure. And you're so concerned with your physical eyes, but your spiritual eyes are totally blind. You need to buy eye salve from me and have some discernment so that you can see again. And Jesus tells them, those who I love, I reprove. And he tells them here, I'm standing at the door and knocking. All right, this is present tense, and it gives the idea that Jesus is there continuing this, that he's standing and knocking. And he tells them, listen, let me in. Let us have a relationship together. And if you do this, if you overcome, if you repent, because Jesus is giving them the chance to turn away and to get themselves right and pure. And he says, if you do this, you will overcome. And just as I sit with my Father on his throne, you will sit with me. And again, all of this is taking us to future imagery that is going to be elsewhere in the book of Revelation. So that is basically just scratching the surface of the church of Laodicea. We have now made it through all 7 churches. And next week, this is when we start to get into all of the cool visions and imagery throughout this book. So in the weeks to come, we're getting into the really, really cool stuff. So prepare to have your mind blown with some of this imagery and its meaning, and just how awesome and eye-opening and awe-inspiring that it is. And you talk about paranormal stuff going on in this book. You got angels, you got demons, you've got the spirits of the dead, all kinds of cool things going on in these visions. So we are going to be getting into that in the weeks to come. So be on the lookout for that. I think Emma is going to come in here and play some songs for y'all. I'm going to try to get Bethany back up. I'm waiting for somebody to answer me. We'll see who comes in here first. Here comes Emma. All right.
Sorry, we're a little backwards today.
So y'all got to listen to me drone on and on and on. Now here's the person y'all really want to hear.
Yeah, right. I'll pull my sleeve back. I searched the world but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise, treasures that fade, I'll never know. Then you came along and put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied here in your love. So there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause God of the mountain is God of the valley. There's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. So there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. So you turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. So you turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. So there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. So you turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can.
I still
That
want you to
was-
do Evanescence again.
The same one. Oh my gosh. But that was Graves in the Gardens. If you like it and want to go listen to it. I'm gonna do one more before I do my Immortal. And this is Everything by Lauren Daigle. sparrow has a place to lay its head. So why would I let words steal my breath? Even the roses you were clothed in brilliant red, still I'm the one you love more than this. 'Cause you give me everything, you give me everything, you give me everything I need. Even the oceans push and pull your command, so you can steal my heart with just your hand. You tell the seasons when it's time for them to turn, so I will trust you even when it hurts. 'Cause you give me everything, you give me everything, you give me everything I need. You give me everything, you give me everything, Yahweh, you're everything I need. When I can't see you, lead me. When I can't hear you, show me. When I cannot stand, you carry me. When I'm lost, you will find me. When I'm weak, you are mighty. You are everything I need. You are my everything. Jesus, you are everything. You are everything I need. You give me everything. You give me everything. You are everything I need. You give me everything. You give me everything. You give me everything I need.
Now it's time for Dustin's song.
Oh, yes. Okay. That means I have to belt. We'll see if I can go low right now. I'm so tired of being here, suppressed by all my childish fears. And if you have to leave, I wish that you would just leave. 'Cause your presence still lingers here, and it won't leave me alone. These wounds won't seem to heal. This pain is just too real. There's just too much that time cannot erase. When you cried, I'd wipe away all of your tears. You'd scream, I'd fight away all of me. You used to captivate me by your resonating light, but now I'm bound by the life you left behind. Your face, it haunts my once pleasant dreams. Your voice, it chased away all the sanity in me. These wounds won't seem to heal. This pain is just too real. There's just too much that time cannot erase. When you cried, I'd wipe away all of your tears. You'd scream, I'd fight away all of your fears. And I held your hand through all of these years, but you still have all of me. I tried so hard to tell myself that you're gone, and though you're still with me, I've been alone, alone. When you cried, I'd wipe away all of your tears. You'd scream, I'd fight away all of your fears. And I held your hand through all of these years, but you still have all of me. All of me. All of me. All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Emma.
And I saw y'all's little comments while I was singing. They were so cute.
All right. Yeah, Dustin was very happy about that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see if Bethany can get back up. But the other thing I wanted to tell y'all, you're probably already sick of hearing my voice tonight, but if you are not, Jennifer said, "Well done, Emma."
Oh, thank you.
Everybody loved it and said thank you.
Yay.
PW said thank you.
Of course.
Everybody's giving you hand claps, saying you did a good job.
Yay. Because I didn't sing at all today, so that was
her warm up.
That was on the spot.
That was her warm up. I'm gonna get this link real quick and put it in the chat. I will be on a radio show at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern, the Panic Room Radio Show, talking about Johnny Walker Ranger Demon Slayer Volume 2, along with some other things. I'll be chatting with Xtina and James. That will air here in the next 35 minutes or so. Big Ben said, keep up the good work.
Oh, yay.
And so that's going to be coming on. And you get a special treat. They had this really amazing voice actor read some parts of Johnny Volume 2. So you'll get that. And you'll get to hear a little bit. I picked a section from the book that kind of gives you a great feel for what the book is like and what you'd be getting into with buying this book. Doesn't give away too many plot points, stuff like that, but it gives you just enough to kind of get the feel for the book and what you are in store for. So here's the link. Should be coming through. That's for the Panic Room Radio, and it will air on that link here in the next 35 minutes or so. See if I can get Bethany back up here. See what she's doing. See if we can get her to work. It's just not going to be the same without her. I'm waiting for her to answer. We'll give her a few minutes. She may be busy. So PW asking next week's topic. So next week we are going to, on Southern Discomfort, we'll have Lisa Vasquez with us. We'll be talking about some of her paranormal experiences and her new book that she's got dropping, which I got the privilege to read and write a blurb for. It is a collection of short stories that, I kid you not, is one of the best collection of short stories that I have ever read. She is an extremely talented writer. So she's going to be talking about some of those stories and some of her experiences. And then on Thursday's show, we're going to be getting into the vision parts of Revelation. We'll be looking at chapter 4, and that gives a vision of the throne room of God. It's got some powerful, powerful imagery in there. So that's what we have coming up next week, PW. All right, Bethany's going to try. Let's see if I can send her a hey, Dustin, could you try sending her a new link and see if that works? She's saying the one I sent her is not working right. So, okay, thank you. You want Lisa's autograph book, Dustin? Yeah. Yes, PW, we will have the sock puppet family. Bethany's sock puppet will be joining us next week on Southern Discomfort to be with Zekes Freaky. So we will have both of those ready, and I may have a little monologue prepared for that. And Bethany's not allowed to interfere with my monologue, which means I'm going to make her puppet say whatever I want her puppet to say. RPI, you're asking, Zekes Freaky is still here. He's still here. He's still here. Somebody messed his hair up. This is what happens. Look what they did. This is what happens when my kids get a hold of my sock puppet. All right. I got to glue some more hair on him because I think one of them got pulled off. I think actually my cat got a hold of it too. That's why it's missing one of the hair strands. So we are going to have Zekes Freaky have a little makeover and get prepared for his monologue for next week. Be prepared, Bethany. So yeah, see, he's still here. See, Zekes Freaky. He's a gentleman. So yes, he will make his acting debut next week here with Lisa Vasquez. So you have two things to look forward to. Lisa will be on, and Zekes Freaky will be giving his monologue, along with Bethany's puppet, which is Burn It Beth, which is a knock on her cooking skills. She can really cook, but don't tell her I ever said that. We can't let her know that. So yeah, she'll be up. Hey, did you send her that link, Dustin? Yep, RPI, that's right. Burn It Beth. And I need to show y'all, don't ever let her get a hold of a grill. I'm going to put the pictures up there of that grill. She nuked a grill. Like, I'm talking this thing. I got to show you the before and after pictures. And you see why I call her Burn It Beth. I will make sure that I have those pictures up here on the StreamYard to pull up for next week. Actually, what we may do is we may have, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have Burn It Beth do a cooking show and give you some recipes that I come up with. What do y'all think about that? Is everybody good with that? We'll do that. Okay. She was sent the link. Let me see what she's doing. Oh, look. All right, here we go. Let me try to blur up. Please work. Please work. Please work.
I don't think it works.
Bethany?
Nope.
Bethany? It's not working. It's got to be on her end. So, Big Ben, what is Beth burning? You name it. You name it. If it's in the kitchen, it's getting lit on fire. So I may have some recipes that I make up next week that I'm going to say are from her kitchen. Yeah, she's not, it's not working, y'all. She's not going to be able to come up. I don't know what's going on, but, we'll hopefully get this sorted out so that we can have this fixed for next week so that everything is working. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. We'll have some recipes next week that I come up with that are going to be coming from Bethany's kitchen. And she has no idea I'm saying any of this because she's not watching it right now. She's doing other stuff. She's texting me. So she has no idea. And she probably won't go back and watch this either. So this is all going to come as a complete surprise for her. Oh, look, here she's trying again. There's Dustin coming up. Dustin? Talk, Dustin?
Yeah, I'm gonna check to see what's going on.
Oh, yeah, you're working. Dustin's working.
Yeah, it's just her end.
Yeah, because Dustin's working fine, so it's on her end. So that's good to know. Yep. So now we definitely know it is on her end. So we got to make sure that we get her fixed for next week. So so we can have some fun. It's just not the same without her up here. Yeah, Big Ben, you'll definitely get Burn It with Beth for sure. We'll come up with some stuff. got the perfect thing for y'all. Burn It with Beth's Thanksgiving recipes. Be here next week for that. That's what we're going to do. If you're struggling for what you need to cook for Thanksgiving, have no fear. The PPR channel is here to meet that need for you. Next week, we will have on the show recipes from Burn It Beth to meet all of your Thanksgiving needs right here. See, it's not just about the paranormal. We care about you. We want you to have a good time at Thanksgiving. So we're going to provide you with top-notch trailer trash recipes that is sure to turn the stomachs of all of your guests this Thanksgiving. So you want to come in and you want to have a pad and a pen or a pencil, something to take notes, because you're going to want to write this down. And I guarantee you, you follow these recipes from Burn It Beth, and you are going to create a Thanksgiving that your family and friends will remember for the rest of their lives. And you can thank us here at the PPR channel for providing you with not only quality paranormal content, but also quality food recipes, all from our very own Burn It Beth. What do y'all think of that? Is that good? I think it's great. I think that's what we should do. I know Dustin's on board for it. Yep. I get LOLs and ha ha ha. So, yes. No. Now, see, Big Ben, it's not burnt recipes. Like, this will be the recipes. So, y'all probably won't burn it. It's just when Beth gets a hold of it, it burns. That's the thing. Like, everything always comes out the same color. It's all burnt to a crisp. So you kind of have to, you can't judge by what it looks like when you pull it out of the oven. You have to kind of, what are we having for dinner? I don't know. We got to scrape away the layers first to see what's under there, to see what was originally cooked. So it's like every meal is like a mystery. It's like a surprise. Like, ooh, what do we have? I don't know. Let's cut through the burn and see what's under there. So, yes. And this is if I'm still alive next week, because if she goes back and watches this, Dustin, if I go missing, Dustin, you know what happened. Okay? You know. And all of you on this show, you know what happened if I go missing. All right? You know who's responsible. So I need to put that out there as just a public service announcement, because my life may be in danger. But then, you know, if she did something to me, she would have no more fun, like, without me. So she won't do that. She won't do it. Yep. I'll be here next week. I'm safe. Oh, Mayhem, welcome. Mayhem, you've missed all of the fun. You got to go back and watch. Yeah, Burn It Beth got Zeke. Yes, Jennifer. Yeah, I may wind up lit on fire. I may come back. Y'all remember the skit on In Living Color with Jim Carrey with Fire Marshal Bill? I may come back like with patches of hair and my beard missing, because she may have tried to light me on fire, be like Hansel and Gretel, and throw me in the freaking oven. So we shall see. But anyway, that's what y'all have to look forward to next week on the show, if I am still alive. We're going to go ahead and wrap up here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. I really missed everybody. I was glad to be able to get on here tonight. I hated missing the Tuesday show, but it is what it is. But next week we will be back and our regularly scheduled broadcast, same bat time, same bat channel. Remember, I'll post that link again. I think this is the right one. If anybody wants to come tune in a little bit, there it is, Blog Talk Radio, Panic Room Radio. I'll be on there in about 20 minutes. Also, don't forget to stop on over to Godless, and you can grab Beware of Monster for 99 cents. All the Southern Discomfort issues are 99 cents to 50 cents. The longer stories are 99 cents, and the shorter ones are 50 cents. It's kind of usually how it goes. And everybody stick around too. We always like to play an inspirational video that Dustin has put together for us to give you some encouragement before you hop off here. So we are going to hit that video. Thank y'all. We love you. We are so grateful for all of your support and everybody hanging out with us in chat and listening to the teaching and the singing and, us just goofing around and having fun and having a good time. Hope to see y'all back here next week. And be sure to tune in about 20 minutes to the Panic Room radio show.
Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know, I don't know. Tell me, have I lost my mind? Nowhere to go, so far from home. Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know, I don't know. Tell me, have I lost my mind? So I break these walls and hold